Pro-democracy protesters are refusing to leave the centre of Hong Kong after a night of running battles with riot police. The heavy-handed tactics appear to have backfired, with the government now ordering security forces to withdraw. Organisers say that at its peak, more than 80,000 people joined the protest. 41 people were injured in the clashes, in the worst unrest since the 1997 handover from Britain. 78 people have been arrested. ABC reporter Sarah Clarke sent this report from Hong Kong.
What began as a peaceful demonstration rapidly deteriorated into this. Riot police used pepper spray and fired canisters of tear gas into the crowds. Protesters were unarmed and caught by surprise. They were told to retreat and leave the streets, but students refused, instead chanting, "We have no fear."
We won't go home. We won't. Not only me, all of us here won't go home.
Barricades were set up with demonstrators confronting lines of officers, calling for them to lay down their shields. The students weren't moving, instead they staged a blockade, with key roads into the central business district cut off. As day dawned, weary protesters camped outside the government's main headquarters, regrouped as the city remained in lockdown.
Right now, we're trying to stop Hong Kong from functioning, and this is why we're still here. Basically, we want to. This is the busiest spot in Hong Kong.
These protesters are fighting the Chinese government's decision to rule out democratic elections in 2017. They want to vote for their leader, but all candidates will be screened by the National People's Congress.
Obviously, we cannot get any feedback from the government, so that's why we are here.
China has called these protests illegal, and the Hong Kong government says it will do what it takes to uphold the law and protect the city and its reputation as an international financial headquarters in Asia. The high police presence here and the number of students indicate that both parties are here for the long haul. 3 key areas in Hong Kong have now been brought to a standstill. And with Wednesday a public holiday, protesters are encouraging more people to come to the streets. Sarah Clarke, ABC News, Hong Kong.
China is celebrating the 65th anniversary of communism, but in Hong Kong, tens of thousands are on the streets in the name of democracy. These live pictures show a city choked by the umbrella-wielding protesters. They're demonstrating against China's decision to screen candidates in the territory's first direct elections in just over 2 years' time. The ABC's Sarah Clarke is there.
He's the embattled leader so many protesters want to talk to. But on China's national public holiday, CY Lung kept a safe distance from the rally, attending the ceremony to mark China's National Day. Police weren't tolerating any opposition, with one protester hauled away. Another made a silent statement, bringing with him an umbrella, which has become the symbol of this pro-democracy movement.
I think we have destroyed the values of Hong Kong earlier this weekend by shooting tear gas at children.
After 4 days of demonstrations and no talks, they're losing patience.
We need real democracy and we need universal suffrage. Yeah.
But Hong Kong's political leader has called for patience.
It is understandable that different people may have different ideas about a desirable reform package.
More roads were closed and the demonstration spread to neighbouring districts, with protesters coming prepared in case events turned ugly. Police were bussed in and on standby, but students were busy keeping order and cleaning up.
I feel very happy, actually, that this protest has been some of the most polite, some of the most orderly and disciplined that I've ever seen.
Hong Kong is such a crowded, busy place, and to see everybody just sitting down and, I don't know, it's quite peaceful and it's such a change from normal life.
But as long as this blockade continues, businesses like these remain closed. This is an expensive retail district in Hong Kong, and jewellery stores, outlets selling luxury brands and banks have had their shutters down all week. But with the Chinese government unlikely to be swayed by protest, this has turned into a waiting game. Sarah Clarke, ABC News, Hong Kong.